What's up, warriors? D-Lin here. As you can tell, I'm in a parking lot, Walmart to be more precise. So I just decided to jump on here and do a little bit of a story time, since I haven't done something like that in a while on my channel. And I feel like this story time will be a little bit interesting. It's just a little glimpse of, well, a little glimpse into my life, some adventures that I've had, and this one is definitely a doozy. So get your chips, get your popcorn, whatever you want to snack on, get your soda, get your beer, get your wine, whatever you want to drink on, and have a seat, and let's get started. When I graduated from college, I needed money because I couldn't find a job in the major I graduated with. I decided to go back into waiting tables because I did that through my college tenure, and it was quick, easy money, and I wanted that. I had bills to pay, so I started working at a Denny's. I actually worked at a Denny's before. I just went back to something I knew. I went to a restaurant that I was familiar with. It was just a different location. But I was working at a Denny's. The night that I'm speaking of in particular was an actual swing shift that I randomly got scheduled. And I think I started at 4 p.m. this night, and I wasn't finished until 11 p.m. Now, we had to park, obviously, employees had to park away from the main entrance, you know, so that customers could have easy access to get into the building. So our parking was on the opposite side of the parking lot, and it actually ran alongside a Bob Evans. So, and it was funny, Bob Evans is right next to Denny's, so we were kind of like in competition with each other. Like, we'd see the Bob Evans crew and we'd all have like words like, oh, you think you're so great, you know. It was all playful, but it was kind of scary whenever you were going out to your car, because at night, you know, the one side of the parking lot at Denny's was like full, but like the other side, which the employees parked on, was, you know, not full, it was empty. And then Bob Evans' lights were off and everything, so it was kind of just scary and dark over there. Back then, I drove a Mazda Protege. It was a 93 Mazda Protege, and I loved that car. It was basic, never had any issues with that car ever, anyone breaking into it or anything like that. I took that car with me when I was in college, and I went to school like downtown Pittsburgh. I would park my car right on the street, like right next to my school, and nothing ever happened down there or anywhere in Pittsburgh, to be honest. So I never worried about thieves or robbery or anything like that. It was a rainy night, and it, you know, it was probably foggy, just like a, you know, a regular fall night. Visibility was really shitty, but I'm leaving, I'm dragging ass because I'm tired, you know. I'm walking to my car, which I can see in the distance, but as I'm walking up to it, and I'm still a distance away from my car, it looks like there's two people at my car, one person on each side, and I saw both car doors open. My car, the Mazda, it was a 4-door, and it looked like the driver's side door and the passenger side doors were open. So as I'm walking up onto this, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just looking at this like, I can't believe it. Like, am I really seeing what I'm seeing? And as I get closer, yeah, there's definitely two males, two white guys. I'm sorry, that's how I'm describing them. That's what they were. There was two white guys at my car at 11:30 p.m. Car doors wide open, so obviously they broke into my car somehow. My car doors, like I said, the passenger side and the driver's side were wide open, and I'm just like, what in the shit is going on? So I start walking faster. Now let me just stop here and say, that was probably really stupid of me to walk up on them like that, because I had no idea if these guys were armed. They could have had a gun, they could have had knives, they could have had anything. I was 23 years old. It was really stupid of me to do that, but like, I guess that whole adrenaline thing is right. Like, as soon as you see something, you get this rush, and it's like what they say, fight or flight thing. And I guess I was more fight than flight, because I was mad, I was heated. I'm like, why are these guys at my car and they're in there? And to elaborate a little bit, in my car, yes, I had my purse in there, because at the time this Denny's was experiencing inner robbery. Girls would have their purses in the break room, and while they were out on the floor working, people that were, you know, in the back, like back of the house, like maybe cooks or dishwashers, someone was in the back in the break room going in the girls' purses and stealing their money. So we were all told, don't keep your purses or anything valuable here inside Denny's. Keep it in your car. And I took that seriously. I'm like, I worked too hard for my money. No one's gonna steal off of me. So I kept my purse like on the front seat, or actually on the front, in the front of my car, passenger side on the floor. Which, looking back, I probably should have locked everything up in my trunk. But I never, ever expected to see what was going on at this point. Never expected to see that. And I'm just using this, you know, as a precaution. This could be a cautionary tale as well. But I'm just telling you ladies out there, if you don't carry mace with you, which I didn't have mace either, if you don't carry mace on you, if you don't have a license, you know, to have a concealed weapon, if you don't have anything like that, and you do come upon something crazy like this, call the police. Call 911, go back into wherever you're walking from, alert someone inside, find someone nearby to help you. Do not walk up on anybody, you know what I mean? Because anything can happen. And I just walk up on these guys and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Is like exactly what I said. Now this was funny because the two dudes that were at my car, one was tall and skinny, and the other one was short and a little bit overweight. He was a chubby guy. The tall and skinny dude had an armful of my shit, and he got a look at me, and he just ran. He took my stuff and just ran into the night. I didn't know where he went. I couldn't see because, like I said, it was raining, it was dark, could not see where the hell he ran off to. But the shorter, chubbier dude, he didn't run. He just stood there. So I'm just like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And he's just like, well, me and my friend, we were walking down from Bob Evans. I'm like, Bob Evans is closed, so what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like giving me some shit story. Me and my friend were walking and we just came up to your car and blah blah blah. I didn't even hear exactly what the hell he was saying. All I could think of at that moment was, I gotta grip this guy up and I gotta take him into Denny's, because nobody's gonna believe what I just saw, what I just walked into. So don't you know, I grabbed this kid up by his arm and I'm like, we're going inside because you're gonna tell my boss what the hell is going on. And I definitely grabbed this kid up by his arm and I walk him into Denny's. This guy had me fucking heated. So I'm grabbing him and he's just like, no, I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. That was my friend. I was just helping him. And I'm like, well, you should have thought twice. You shouldn't have been helping your friend rob somebody. And now we're going to go and report this because, you know, all my stuff is gone. And everything that I had in my car was taken. Anything that was like valuable. Back in this day and age, in this time, or early 2000s, I had a basic car, like I said. It had a tape deck. It didn't have a CD player. So I had one of those portable CD players, and then I had the little tape thing that you put into your tape player, and it had the cord that you connected to your CD player so that you can play CDs and the music would come through, you know, your car. So the tall, skinny dude ran with my portable CD player and the tape thing. He grabbed a ton of my CDs. My purse was left, but he took my wallet, which my wallet had like $60. And then like he took my bank card, my social security card, my ID, and some other things that eventually the police found like a distance away, because apparently the guy, as he was running with all of my stuff, was like flipping through everything to see what was valuable, what he could keep or whatever, through my social security card and my license. So the police were able later to recover those two things, but like my money and my whole wallet he took. He must have threw that away somewhere else, and like my bank cards were gone. But yeah, I dragged this kid into Denny's, and 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12, that's about the time that, you know, graveyard shift is starting, so it was somewhat busy at this point. I dragged this guy in and like into the front greeting area. My manager at the time, God bless this woman, her name was Miss May. Lovely old lady. I'm sorry, older, I'll say. She was a lovely older lady, as you can imagine. No nonsense as far as being a manager. Like, she was pretty awesome. It took a while for me to get to like her, but eventually I ended up like loving this woman. So she's up at the register as I'm dragging this kid in, and she's on the phone about to hang up or whatever. People are sitting here, like sitting on the booth up front waiting to be seated. There's people all around, and I'm saying to Miss May, I'm just like, get on the phone and call the police. This guy and his friend were at my car and they were robbing me. They took all of my stuff. Call the police. She's like, what? What's going on? What? It was like bedlam. It was complete craziness. Pandemonium. And I'm just like, call the police. And I still have my arm entwined with this dude. Like, we are like attached, because I was not letting him go. And the crazy thing was, he didn't fight me. He did not fight me at all. And partially, I think the reason of this was because he was young. I did not find out till later. I think he was either 16 or 17 years old. He was a juvenile. But anyways, he did not run. He didn't even try to get away. And part of me in my mind was just thinking, hey, I'm chubby too, and I can't run fast right now. I just got off a 7-8 hour shift. I'm tired. You're probably not able to run either. So let's both be chubby together, motherfucker. Miss May, she calls the police, and I still have this dude gripped up, and Miss May is just staring, just like, I can't believe it. People that are just standing there, they're just like, what the fuck? Like, this girl, like, stopped a robbery. Like, it was just the funniest thing. Like, I can look back now and I can seriously like laugh about it, but I also, I'm sorry, I'm like sweating to death. I also see the danger of what I did, and I understand the danger of what I did. But eventually the police show up. It's two cops that came, and the one cop, first they like tell me I could let dude go, so I let him go. So the one cop is talking to him, and the other cop is talking to me, asking me what happened. And I tell him that I was coming out from work after I just worked, and these two, him and his tall, skinny, lanky friend, were at my car. Car doors were open, and they were stealing my stuff. The kid sitting there talking to the other cop was just like, I didn't do anything. I didn't blah, 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 blah. And the other cop, the one that's talking to him, he's just like, oh, you didn't do anything. Well, why did she bring you in here? What's going on? You know, he's trying to get the story from him. I'm telling the other cop, you know, what's going on. And It was just crazy. I overhear the other cops say, man, I should just leave you with her because it seems like she could take care of you. And I'm just like, man, don't let me near this kid anymore because I will... You stole from me. The police examined my car and saw that, like, the key entry, whatever you want to call it, on the outside of my car, they, like, destroyed that shit, and that's how they were able to get in. And it was a 93 Mazda, so it probably wasn't difficult to break into it, but they did it. They violated me. They stole all of my stuff. I mean, the one dude did. This kid didn't have anything on him. He didn't get away. And I didn't let him get away. But after that happened, I realized, like, firsthand how terrible it is to get stolen from. And I just made it my you know, best intention to never, ever, ever, ever steal any type of stealing, you know what I mean? I don't even steal pens from people or, you know, lighters. Like, whenever, you know, people ask to borrow a lighter and they, like, somehow pocket it, like, I don't ever do that. I return anything that I borrow. I don't steal money from people. I don't, because I know how that feels. And I was devastated because, you know, those CDs that that guy took, they were scratched up to hell. You know what I mean? What the fuck did you want with my NSYNC CD? Or my J-Lo CD? Or my Backstreet Boys CDs? Because that's the type of shit I had. You know what I mean? They were scratched up. They were old. What were you going to do with those? The portable CD player, I don't know what he would have done with that. Like, maybe he was going to try and get some money off of that. I don't know. But, like, yes, that stuff can be replaced. But it was still my stuff. And then you went into my purse and you stole my money. You stole my whole damn wallet. And the whole purpose of my purse being in my car was to prevent the people at work stealing from me. And now look what happened. You know what I mean? The night ended up with them carting that kid away because they were going to grill him and try to get the, you know, identity of his little friend, and see where the hell he went. I think a couple days go by. I can't remember, like, because it was so long ago. But I'm back at Denny's and I'm working, you know. The story of what I did has circulated and everyone's just calling me Hercules. The same two cops come back into Denny's. And one guy has a notebook or a binder. And he's like, we think we may have picked up the other kid that stole your things from your car, that broke into your car. He said, I have a mugshot list. It's like a mugshot pack, they call it, or a 6-pack. It's a group of photos of mugshots that they wanted me to look at. And I'm just like, man, I don't know if I'm going to remember what that kid looked like. I know that he was tall. I know that he was, like, really pale. I know that he was thin. But that night he had on a hat. So, like, I didn't get a very good look at his face. It was dark. It was raining. So I was just like, Lord, I don't know if I'm going to remember what this guy looked like, you know? They sit down. They open the binder. First page has a group of guys, you know, their mugshots. And I'm staring at it, and for some reason, this one guy, his face, like, popped out at me. And I say, I think it was this kid. And they say, that's the guy we got. That's the guy that the other kid identified as his friend. Holy shit. Don't tell me that God does not work. And I'm sorry I'm swearing and everything, but you just gotta be there. You have to be there with me. Come on, like, be there in my mind at this moment. You know what I'm saying? I just said I don't think I'm gonna be able to remember under all of them circumstances what this kid looked like. But the Lord must have helped me remember, and I pointed the kid right out. So they were like, that's great. That confirms the person that we have. And we're right now going to book them to. He said, the kid that you dragged in, was a minor. He was like between 16 and 17. So he was going to go to juvie. The kid I dragged into Denny's, he was going to go to juvie. And the other kid, I believe he was either 18 or 19, so he was going to go to adult jail. But they were going to send me a notice, you know, to go to the magistrate for both of them, because they wanted to get restitution, you know, get me repaid so I was made whole from the things that was stolen. Of course, this meant 2 different court dates, so I got the notice for both. And at the time, I was living at home with my mom and dad, and they knew the story. And my dad, you know, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you dragged him into the place, and you shouldn't have done that. You should have called the police. I'm proud of you, but don't ever do that again. I got that talking to, you know, but still, it was funny. Like, you know, he laughs about it even to this day. But we had to go to court. First kid we went for court, the one that I dragged in. And the judge, the magistrate, he was just like, you know, why'd you do it, man? Like, what were you doing? And his excuse was he was hanging out with his friend. His friend wanted to go steal. He said that they had walked around Bob Evans, but they were closed. There were no cars, so they walked downhill into the Denny's parking lot. Apparently, they were checking all the cars, and they came up to mine and decided, let's break into this car. And they broke into it. Gold mine, you know, my purse was there, the CDs, my CD player. They struck gold, and as they were getting all my stuff, that's when I came out the door. And his friend took off. So the kid was basically shifting the blame on his friend. But, you know, fuck that. You were an accomplice. You were there. You participated. They charged him with robbery. I think robbery is the one without weapons. I can't remember which one it is. They charged him. They said he had to spend whatever length of time in juvenile jail, whatever it's called. But he had to pay a certain amount back, because I had told the police everything that was stolen. You know, I had to give them an itemized list and what I paid for everything, plus like the money, like the cash money I had, and my wallet, how much did I think that cost. Everything added up. It's not like I had like bougie, you know, things. It's just they were my things and they cost money, so everything added up. And they were like halving it between that kid and the actual guy that got away with my stuff. So that court case went down, and then I had to go to the adult court with another magistrate for the adult kid the 18-year-old or the 19-year-old that ran off. His reasonings for stealing was because he had gotten into an argument with his father, and he was pissed or whatever, and he left and picked up his friend. And I still don't even know if they had a vehicle themselves, if they were on foot. Like, I have no clue. I didn't know if they had a getaway car somewhere. Who knows? But because that guy was mad at his dad or whatever, that's what caused him to go, and that's how they hit my car and broke into it. And what's funny about this court case was that the judge here says to the guy, what I should do is put you in this room in the back, have you alone with her, because she dragged your friend into the Denny's, and I should let her take care of you in the back there too. And everybody in the court started laughing, and I was just kind of like, it was just crazy to hear the judge like have a sense of humor like that, and you know, to also understand like where I was coming from. Like, I wasn't gonna hurt that kid, but like I said, I wanted to have actual proof that this happened. You know, his father was present during this court case, and his father was just like, yeah, I'll pay you back. I apologize on behalf of him and my family. I'm very sorry that we put you through that. So that was that. And I eventually got 2 checks, you know, made out. I can't remember what the amounts were, but obviously they were enough to take care of everything that was taken from me, and the bank card I was able to get replaced. He didn't get to my account in time before I cut it off, so luckily nothing was stolen out of, you know, any more cash wasn't taken out of my bank account, so that was good. That's my story of how I stopped a robbery in progress, or I caught a robbery in progress. I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please give me a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like things like this, please comment down below. I do have a couple of other story times on my channel. Go check them out. I have playlists. You'll be able to find it very easily. Definitely share if you think someone else will get a good laugh off of this too. And I will see you guys again in my next video.